Hi and welcome. I'm delighted that you tuned in again for the second part. That means you weren't put off by the theory. Or did you skip it? Let me know it in the comments. But yeah, seriously, this will help me to make your preferences into account for future videos. So, if you missed part 1, just check the video description for the link. But enough of the preamble. We've got all the basics down. You know what we're talking about, and we'll start straight away with the operating principle of a second stage with a downstream valve. The first thing we see here is the basic structure of a second stage. Coming from the left, from the right, when diving of course. The downstream valve also shown here with the toggle lever, which forms the connection to a movable membrane. We can also see the mouthpiece, which leads to you and which you normally keep in your mouth. An exhalation valve and the air shower, which you operate via the aforementioned membrane. The air, or more previously the breathing gas, I will use both terms synonymously throughout the series, as it does not matter whether it is air or nitrox that we have in our tank. Arrives at the downstream valve at a medium pressure provided by the first stage. We will ignore what exactly happens in the first stage for now. The important thing is that you know that the pressure that arrives here is lower than that in the tank, but slightly higher than the ambient pressure. Now we breathe in. The air in the second stage, is sucked into our lungs, creating a negative pressure. The principle behind this is the Venturi effect explained in the first video. The ambient pressure now pushes the membrane inwards, causing the rocker arm to tilt and press the yellow piston against the blue spring via a swivel joint. This opened the valve. The air now flows from the first stage via the hose and the downstream valve into the second stage. At some point we have finished our breath and the air flow stops. At the first moment our breathing gas continues to flow and fill the second stage. The resulting overpressure acts on the diaphragm, pushing it back into its original position against the ambient pressure. The downstream valve now closes again via the toggle lever mechanism. As a result, the airflow stops. Next, we breathe out. We saw this again last week, and of course we know that we don't breathe into the tank, but into the environment. But how does this work now? In the first moment, an overpressure is generated again within the second stage. The membrane is already in its starting position, so that the resulting force acts on the exhalation valve. This is pushed outwards by the force that builds up and that it opens and the air can escape. As soon as the pressure inside the second stage drops far enough and the exhalation valve experiences more force from the outside than from the inside due to the water pressure, it closes again. This happens as soon as we stop breathing. That's it. That's all there is to it. Now you just have to realize that this entire process takes place several times per minute. But I think it's now a bit clearer to everyone how a second stage works and how it transforms the medium pressure, which I'll explain in the video after next, to the ambient pressure, so that you can breathe comfortably at any diving depth. So, stay tuned. Next week we will take a look at the pilot valve and then the different types of first stages. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. The comments are particularly important to me, as this is the only way I can get feedback from you on which topics or areas you don't understand so well and where I need to focus more on in future. For now, so it's time to say all time good air and ciao from my side.